So I recently just went through a spiritual death or spiritual awakening. I believe that they're simultaneous. I think life and death are a single transformation occurring, happening now. And I had this humongous epiphany. Okay, now before I keep going, I just want to say that I respect all of the artists that I'm going to speak about. And still, within that respect, I have to speak with my truth. I have to express my heart and how I feel sincerely. Okay, now with that in mind, I'm going to talk about Janet Jackson and the fact that I fell in love with Janet Jackson recently. Just recently. When I was a little girl, there was no one who exposed me to Janet Jackson and introduced me to Janet Jackson, like, and was like, listen to this song, pay attention to this video. No. I have the like second, third, fourth generation like Janet Jackson inspired music that I grew up on. I hope that makes sense. I'm trying to explain this. The reason why I say it was a death and an awakening is because I had realized that every artist that I had ever fell in love with was legitimately just I feel like a remake, almost like a mockery and imitation of Janet Jackson from my perspective. Like, I fell in love with Tiana Taylor as a little girl, and I worshipped Tiana Taylor. And then as I got older, something about Tiana just like didn't really resonate as much. And the truth is, I literally went to concert. I went to see Tiana Taylor in concert, and we were at the Fillmore. She was at the Fillmore, and I literally met her. We have selfies together. And I still love Tiana Taylor. I just think that it broke my heart when I found out that nothing about her is original or her aesthetic. Everything is just inspired. And I mean, I can respect that it is inspired. I just don't like being deceived. It really broke my heart when I found out how much I fell in love with something that wasn't the original. That really breaks my heart. If anything else can literally make me so sad, it is realizing that I did not fall in love with the original. With the first expression of a thing. And I feel like Janet Jackson is the original source of all of my love for music, everything that's driving me to want to be a musician and be an artist and be a performer and sing and dance and just like, oh my goodness, make love to music, make love to the art, make love to the entity, the force of nature that is music. It is, I feel like Janet Jackson is a demonstration of what my passion for music looks like. When it is pursued. And I feel like as a little girl, I have been introduced to so many remakes, so many copies of Janet Jackson's passion and her style and her aesthetic and the outcomes that Janet Jackson creates. So many replications of it, and to the point where it's not even art anymore. And I feel like the first expression is art, and I feel like that's Janet Jackson. And just recently discovering her music and going back and listening to Control and Escapade and like all of her songs from the 90s and watching her old music videos and seeing the styles, seeing her face and her makeup and just the beauty from within. There is literally a beauty that Janet Jackson holds within that I feel like the music industry has tried to duplicate so many times and have not been able to do it just because it's false. You cannot falsely suggest that someone is beautiful. It's just not gonna hold. And I think that beauty cannot be duplicated. It has to be born from within. And I feel like there's so many women and female music artists, musicians, and performers that have literally taken things that Janet Jackson has literally started and made it their own and kind of claim it as being original. And it hurts me. It makes me upset because I feel so proud to be a brown skinned Black woman and have discovered Janet Jackson at my age at 22, because it makes me even more empowered to look how I do and feel how I do and be sensual and sexy and pursue music because I love it and not because of anything else, and to also be myself. That's the number one thing, and I feel like that is the reason why I've stopped listening to any new like 21st century R&B, pop, like whatever artist, because the fact that you have to be yourself, that message, it doesn't carry through imitation, you know what I mean? And I feel like a message like authenticity is not something, again, that you can replicate. And finding Janet Jackson allowed me to receive actually the message that I feel like the music industry just cannot get across with whatever they're trying to do with like taking Janet Jackson's aesthetic and genre and voice and approach and everything and trying to remake it into something else. Even with people, I feel like I've learned from Janet Jackson to be myself. That's what I've learned so far. I'm still on a path of like going back and listening to all of the albums that Janet Jackson has. I'm kind of in a space of doing that because I knew about Michael. Like, I knew Michael because everyone talks about Michael, and I feel like as a brown girl, I would have been so nice if someone would have told me about Janet. It's okay though. I have a beautiful, beautiful goddess that has introduced me to Janet Jackson formally and properly, and I'm so thankful that she did, because I feel like it's nice to know what true empowerment looks like, you know, when it's done the first time, you know. And I'm not saying that the artists of the now are not inspired. It's just that these people are inspired by someone else, and I feel like it's always important to find the source of inspiration, because that is wealth, that is abundance, that is health, that is vitality, that is truth. And I feel like I'm on a journey with music that is encouraging me to always search for the source, the original. And I find that Janet Jackson is the source of inspiration for all of the artists that have literally glorified in worship for so long. So that's what I want to say. Janet, I love you. Miss Janet Jackson, I love you so much. Thank you so much for being you. And just, that's it. Peace and love and harmony.